Welcome back to Summit Sunrise here on TV8 Summit. I'm Shauna and I'm here with Erin with Red Buffalo Cafe. And Erin, what is this that you got me?
I brought you yerba mate today. I love playing with teas and different types of herbal steeps, and this is just another way to take your caffeine in the morning.
And yerba mate is a really interesting tea. Like, tell me a little about where it originated from, and you guys have this at your cafe.
We do, and so we'll actually start with that yerba mate isn't tea.
Oh.
So that's the fun
There
part.
we
So
go.
tea comes, anything that's technically tea all comes from Camellia sinensis. It's a type of plant, it's a small evergreen shrub. And if it doesn't have that in it, it's not technically tea. So chamomile, peppermint, a lot of those things that you're thinking that are caffeine free, those aren't teas. They never actually had Camellia sinensis in them. They never had a tea leaf in there. Yerba mate comes from a South American plant, usually found in like Chile and Argentina. It grows at higher altitudes. It's really big. Its leaves are about a foot long, but it is a caffeinated plant. So it does have caffeine in it, and it is an herbal steep. You steep it like you would many teas. It's just not technically a tea. It doesn't have that Camellia sinensis in there, but plants like to grow caffeine in their molecular structure as a natural insecticide because it's bitter for bugs to eat. So that's why coffee plants have caffeine. So it's a plant's natural defense against bugs is they get caffeine in their system.
And there's a lot of history with this. I mean, especially in South America, they drink it out of
A gourd with a straw. There's so many different cultures around just tea and coffee beverages, no matter where you are in the world. And that's a really fun thing to think about as you're drinking this. So the yerba mate, you have a gourd and you pass it around to a big group. So everywhere has a tradition with tea or coffee. You know, there's a coffee tradition for Ethiopia. There's the Japanese tea ceremony. There's yerba mate. So no matter where you go, you're going to have a relation to a hot drink and how it relates to your culture. And I think in the United States, what we're so good at and what we try to have at Red Buffalo is that American cafe lifestyle where you come in, you have your laptop, and you can sit for a long time, or you're going to meet your friends and have a drink. And it's not a quick in and out like Italian cafe culture. This is one of those come, sit, relax, and stay with us.
Yeah, and that's what's really nice about Red Buffalo is that you guys are right on the river. It is the perfect spot to relax and sit and and enjoy. You're right, that American culture where we do have a culture of coffee. It's not just in and out like the Italians, or we definitely don't share our straws with the yerba mate.
With the yerba mate, no. But there's every sort of culture within Red Buffalo. We just love to have people come and enjoy themselves, and we have the great library book sale. Like you mentioned, we have our riverside patio, which is great, and then the views out the front doors too of our namesakes. We have Red Mountain and Buffalo Mountain, and just it's a good place to just come and relax, or even if you're just in and out because you have to be on your way to work, whatever it is. We like people to think that Red Buffalo is just a community hub that they can come to and call their own.
Yeah, and I always meet my friends there, so it's just a perfect spot in Silverthorne, and it's just this little gem. So you guys have some things going on this weekend, is that correct?
Yeah, we do. We have live music every Saturday. So this coming Saturday, we have the Jeffrey Jones Band coming up, and then I think the weekend after that, we have local folk. So just a lot of fun local musicians coming up, whether they're playing on guitar or piano. Just a fun time. They play all Saturday mornings from 9 to noon. It's just a fun vibe.
Yeah.
You can just come and relax and enjoy a book.
Yeah, no, that's great. And tell us a little about, you guys do food there as well. So
we do.
What are
You know,
some
we
of your
don't
specialties?
we don't have the full
no.
kitchen experience, but we have some great bagels made fresh and delivered fresh every day by Diane's Mountain Bagels. And we can put great salmon and capers on there with our special homemade chipotle sauce. And that chipotle sauce really kind of makes such a big difference to it. We also have breakfast burritos. We have some gluten-free pastries as well. Just a variety of little goodies to keep you moving on your day.
And I had the breakfast burrito with the salmon the other day, and it was so good. I'm thinking about it right now. Actually, when you just mentioned that, I was like, oh, I'm really hungry.
Later, I'll go get one.
I think so, right after the show.
We do smoothies too, and we have one that I really like. It's a peanut butter banana smoothie, but we add some coffee and some chocolate and some protein powder to it. And at that point, it tastes like a milkshake, but I tell myself, well, it's a smoothie, so it's healthy, and I can eat this for breakfast.
There you go. That's what you really need to do. And if you guys haven't been to Red Buffalo, it is just an interesting seating arrangement too. I mean, you guys have a little niches for everyone. We do.
We have the private tables, and then we have the large community tables. And the community tables are great if you have a large meeting coming up. You know, we have I have an architect group that meets every once in a while, and of course, their plans are going to need big space to take over. But what I really like is I like seeing the people who are on their laptops and they sit down on one part of the community table and someone sits down next to them. And then eventually you have 6 people sitting at this community table and they start a full conversation that's completely unrelated. They didn't know they was going to have this conversation, meet these people, and it's really fun.
Yeah, no, that makes it really just a special, unique spot.
Yes.
So if people want to know more and what's going on Saturdays, where should they go?
Our Facebook page, we keep really well propagated with our information, and that's a Facebook.com/Red Buffalo Cafe. But the best way is always just to come on in. We're located at 358 Blue River Parkway in Silverthorne. So that's just a quarter mile north of the I-70 Silverthorne Interstate exit as you're headed towards Steamboat. And we're right on the right. We have a great Instagram page too if you want to follow us on there. That's at Red Buffalo Cafe. But we're open 7 days a week from 6:30 to 5:30. So you have 11 hours of the day to come on in, come ask us questions. We love to geek out about teas and coffees and what milk does when you break it down at 140 degrees and stuff like that.
That's pretty interesting, yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's a good question to ask when you go in there. And
It is.
that's what I love about you guys. You have good customer service and just a perfect location. It's just to grab a coffee even before you head on I-70 back wherever you're going.
Wherever home is, or if you're just coming into town, you have a really easily accessible place and lots of parking too.
Yeah,
I know we always like to say, oh, parking in Summit County.
You guys have a great place. Well, Erin, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me today.
We'll be right back, so don't go anywhere after this short break.